Yes, I said it. My whole life has changed. I am complete. No more heartache or pain. I am. Yes, I said it, and I meant it. And my world has changed. I was poor from a dark, dark side, but now I can see again. You reached down when I needed you most. Oh, and you kept me close. Yes, I said it. Our whole life has changed. Oh, yeah. No more heartache or pain. I am complete. No more heartache or pain. Our whole life has changed. I am complete. No more heartache or pain. I am complete.
No longer scared to face the world with my scars out and proud. Never again will I let something hold me down. I am complete. Thanks to the help I got when I kneel down on one knee. I learned the road of life is filled with twists and turns, and if you play with fire, you will get burned. But that road I traveled and that burn I suffered, but in the end it made me tougher. Lord knows I wanted to quit and just end it all, but he told me, son, this is not where you fall, this is where you stand tall.
When I was in need, oh, you saved me. Yes, I said it. When I was troubled, and I meant it. My whole life has changed. I am complete. No more heartache or pain. I am complete. I crossed the road. I see things clearer now. What he has shown me, I can't reach for the sky. I crossed the road. I see things clearer now. What he has shown me, I can't reach for the sky. I crossed the road. I see things clearer now. What he has shown me, I can't reach for the sky. I crossed the road. I see things clearer now. What he has shown me, I can't reach for the sky.
Welcome. We are here live today. I missed you all. We missed you all last week. Had a little bit of a couple things we needed to take care of. But we are back. And today we want to discuss the elderly abuse. A very sad topic for us. But and we both have kind of dealt with a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Or known someone who has been through it or going through it right now. So we wanted to discuss it and have you all call in about it. And the number to call in is 240-620-7789. Again, it's 240-620-7789. We want to get some of your opinions on it, on the topic, and see where we can be of assistance with this elderly abuse, which is such a sad thing to go through. The whole issue came up actually. A friend of mine who works with a elderly person, she actually had another family member come in and take a couple days. They had made those arrangements where she was coming in and take a couple days to take care of the elderly lady. And what happened, unfortunately, is she actually slid out of her chair. And that obviously caused some issues with the family. It wasn't really abuse. It may have been a little bit of neglect,
Right.
but it wasn't abuse. But I say all of that to say that we have to be very careful and mindful when you're dealing with elderly people. They're very fragile, and you have to remember that their mindset is a little different. Sometimes they're a little more afraid of certain situations that may just come natural to us, but they're afraid. So you have to be very mindful of that when taking care of elderlies. In any type of way, you really have to
Right.
be very mindful of their state of mind, and their whole physical capacity. You really have to look into that and be very mindful. But needless to say, with that and with her being afraid, she was released from the position, and one of the things the family wants to do now is put cameras in the home,
Which is a good idea.
which is a good idea. It really is. Once you start having people to come in and take care of your family members, elderly members, you probably should. That's a very good idea to have cameras in the home, because you can't be there
Right.
to monitor everything that's going on. So.
Right. Well, speaking on that, I myself am going through that now, dealing with my father who has been diagnosed with dementia, and amongst other things. His dementia is worsening now, so his girlfriend of 27 years has been taking care of him up until now, and she finally decided that she's tired. So I have been designated as that person, which that's my father, so it's not a problem. But it's not easy because I know my father as being a strong man. He played music. He's a bass guitar player for a couple bands that are well known, and to see him the way he is now is just like heartbreaking. But I have to be, once again, the person that stands up and handles everything, and I'm taking it. It's hard, but somebody has to do it. So he is hospitalized right now because he wandered off the other day, and that's one of the things with dementia
Wow.
that you have to be careful with, because they will get to the point where they'll wander, and he did the other day. Fortunately, thank God, the police found him, and it was a 2-hour. He had walked 10 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I thank God that they found him. But, when it comes to the elderly, it's like they go back to their childhood, and we have to treat them, somewhat not like a baby, but, with care for them like we would an infant, because that's what they need. And my dad right now, I really didn't want to leave him, but as a caregiver, we have to take our mental breaks and things, and this is, like I said before, my healing. So I'm here today because, I need some,
Therapeutic release.
yeah. And this is what that does for me. So that, but this is a heavy subject, and it's a coincidence because my sister and I were talking about it yesterday. Like, we had talked, and I didn't even know what this subject was going to be about. And then I told her what was going on with my dad, and she was like, wow. Right. So, that's, God again, once again. But yeah, it's heavy.
It's really sad, because even with the nursing homes, and some of you know that my mom ended up being in a nursing home before she transitioned, and it's not the best situation sometimes to have them in a nursing home. And when you do, I would advise that family, friends, whoever, just kind of monitor and stay in there constantly, which we did. I was up and down the road almost every week to visit my mom. And then we had family members there who would also step in and do what they needed to do. But unfortunately, a lot of the staff sometimes, they have so many people that they have to take care of that they may not give that particular attention to your loved one. And that's why it's very important for you to keep on that. Stay there as much as you can. Have people around you that are caring and loving, and they care for your family member, to be there.
Right.
Because it's a sad thing to know that you already have to deal with the family member that's going through whatever it is they're going through. So the last thing that you want to have to deal with is people not doing what they're supposed
Their
to
job,
do
right.
when it comes to especially your family member. And that's for anyone.
Right.
There's a lot of them that's there, and family won't even come to see them.
Oh, yeah. I'm going through that now. When I say I'm literally the person that's doing everything, I have 5 brothers and sisters, and no one has come. I'm literally doing everything.
Wow.
And, I mean, I'm talking about to even make decisions when it comes to my father. I call them to get their, opinion. I can't even get them all on the phone.
Wow.
At one time, or to call me back or anything. So they signed over their rights to me because they didn't want. I guess because I'm here. But even if I'm here, then you could help me make some decisions at least. Don't leave it all on me. So when to me, it feels like when this decision is finally made, if he goes into a nursing home, everybody could be pointing the finger at me like she did it. And guess what? At the end of the day, if that's a decision that I have to make, then that will be my decision because you left it all to me. And I can't do everything by myself. But it's really hard dealing with this. But, it just has to be taken care of. And I will be there every day, like a drill sergeant, walking up and down the hall. So they better be ready for me because, I will definitely be there. Yeah.
And it's sad because, but it's funny. And I watched my husband and my brother-in-law, my mother-in-law, and a sister-in-law pretty much take care of his grandma and aunt, who both suffer from dementia and Alzheimer's. And, just to watch them do it around the clock and take care of those family members is just wonderful to see. And more families need to just step in and do that. And come together and really help out where you're needed and take care of those parents or family members who need it, because at some point in our life
we're going to need it.
They were there, and then we're going to need it. So you have to think like that and put everything else aside.
That's definitely the truth. But if I could get one like I said, his girlfriend and I were working together, and then I guess she said, man, I need to live a little bit because I'm getting tired of caring for somebody to care for me for 27 years. So she decided that she's tired. And that's my father. I don't respect it. I'm not going to sit here in front and pretend like it's okay, because it's not with me. But she's not obligated to him. She's not his wife. He didn't marry her for whatever reason. Now, I'm not going to get into all that. But, it is what it is. I am his daughter. I'm the one that's here, and I'm going to take care of everything. So as long as they have somebody that's willing to stand up for them, and it's going to be a struggle, and it's just beginning for me, but I'm willing. I've survived worse things, so
yes, you have.
I will be okay.
Yeah, and even when it comes to the decision of the nursing home, hopefully by then, if it comes to that decision, family members will step in and help assist with that.
Sounds
like I said,
good.
See,
I'm just saying.
that's the Riri.
I'm just saying.
That's the Riri.
It sounds good, and it would be nice, to get a phone call. Hello, family,
brothers and sisters, family. Come on now, we have to do better than that.
Call me back.
It's a lot. It's
a
lot.
It is. It's heavy.
And
can't you see the black rings around my eyes? That's no sleep.
To say that you can't do it from out of town, to me,
that's a cop out, because they live in Delaware. I'm calling them out right now. They live in Delaware and Philadelphia, which is not far at all. Please. Okay.
Okay, family.
Yeah.
Let's bring it
Let's
together.
do this.
Let's work it out. And
this might not help.
I'm gonna try to smooth it over, family, because Riri, but it's rough.
Because Riri is here doing everything by herself, on top of everything else that she has to take care of for herself and all other domestic violence issues, people this close to me getting killed, and everything else that I'm dealing with. It's just not just that, but that's on the top of the list right now.
Yeah.
That's a priority. But it just is sad that family, regardless of whatever we've been through, this is not
Exactly.
about us right now. It's
not.
about
It's not.
our Father. And if you can't push whatever feelings you have aside, because it's stuff you did, because I never did anything wrong. No, I'm just joking. No. I'm not perfect, but it's family issues
Right.
that didn't have anything to do with me,
Right.
or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about our Father, and we have to come together and do what needs to be done and help me make these difficult decisions that
Right.
I'm racking my brain about, and feeling guilty and because that's what you go through when you have to deal with this stuff. Who wants to put their father in a nursing home or their mother?
Right.
I always said my parents would never, at that point when I'm assuming that they're going to have to go in there, I'm thinking I'm going to be rich or something, where I could afford to have a health aide come in or somebody to help me.
Right.
But everything doesn't always turn out the way you hope
it to be.
or plan it to be. So you just have to prepare.
Yeah. And like I say, it's like we touched on with family. Sometimes you do have to put some things to the side when it comes to certain situations. And that is a situation where it's a situation where everyone needs to come together to make the decisions, or at least to have, some value to the decision that will be made when it comes to that time, because that is a lot for one person to handle. And even with my mom, we pretty much had everything set up to know, which direction things would go in. So everything was pretty much a smooth transition. However, there were some bumps in the road that, Lily had to come out. So,
Never fails.
I always try to tell people, just leave the lion in the
Yeah.
den. Just please leave her in
Exactly.
that den, because, you really don't want her to come out. So, but it was handled. But again, it is something that all family needs to, it needs to be
On the
everybody
table.
needs to
Right.
get there, try to sort it out. And even now, with your loved ones that are elderly, try to sit down and have some conversations with them to see what it is that they want,
Right.
what it is that they're trying to do, who they want to be in charge of their affairs. Anything dealing with any type of property, any type of finances, just put it out on the table and find out what it is that they need to have done before it gets to the days where you're trying to scramble around and figure out what needs to be done.
Right.
Just come to those decisions early on, to try to do that. I mean, we're doing it now with even with our children, and they're not even of age to make any decisions.
Right.
And hopefully, they won't have to, but it's still something that you want to just kind of put out there.
Prepare. Yeah, you have to
and
prepare.
your family for, so that they know what's,
Yeah.
what to do.
So everything will be laid out, and it won't be a whole bunch of chaos, because I mean that is another issue.
That's the
as
last
far
thing
as
you need.
a family fighting over, trying to decide, what he should wear. Should he wear black or green, or should and they're debating. I mean, I've seen some craziness, and it's just ridiculous when I think everybody at a certain point should start planning
They
for
should.
their
Oh yeah, for that
passing
transition.
yeah,
You-
because it makes life easier for everybody that's left behind.
yeah.
Especially the people like me that are standing alone, that has to make the decisions. It's a little easier for me because now that they've given me,
Oh, okay.
now that they've given me the power of attorney, don't get mad when I make the decision whether you like it or not. That's how I feel about it, because you just relinquished everything to me without even a
That's true.
hesitation. So now I'm going to make the decisions, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's
it's-
turned over to you, then that's who
Right.
makes the decision,
I mean,
and you really can't come back and
say, oh my God, did she really do that? She put her father in a nursing home? Yeah. So that's what I'm dealing with, y'all. So if I look a little rough, because I'm, excuse me, pardon me.
Riri is just a little tired. She's been, and I know because we've been talking on the
Yeah,
phone back
at
and
the
forth,
hospital
and,
for a week, yeah. So
and it's not easy. one of my closest friends, she lost her dad few weeks ago, and she was going to call me because she was definitely there for me when I lost my mom. And I told her, you know what, just reach out whenever you can. So it was something because she really tried to. She called me and she tried, but she just couldn't. She couldn't get through the conversation.
Right.
So it's something that, it's rough. It's a rough situation, and you really don't want it to get to that point, but you have to. That's when you need your family to be able to lean on
Right.
and work through
You
these
need
things.
that
So family,
support.
come on, work those issues.
Work with Riri.
And work with Riri, because
Because she needs it. And no matter how strong everybody thinks, oh, you're the strong one in the family, even the strong one needs somebody to lean on sometimes.
They do.
So,
They really do. So I agree with
You
that.
know.
So we have to reach out and try to put some things in the past, leave them there, or
Right.
either work through it
Right.
to make everything else work for the good.
right. Yeah.
So that's kind of the bottom line on that. But please call in if you have some opinions or you want to talk about some things dealing with the elderly. The number again is 240-620-7789. And we're going to go to a quick break. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I put.
I am complete. My whole life has changed. I am complete. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No more heartache or pain. I am complete. Yes, I said it. My whole life has changed. I am complete. No more heartache or pain. I am. Yes, I said it, and I meant it. And my world has changed. I was poor from a dark, dark side, but now I can see again. You reached down when I needed you most. Oh,
We are back. We are back. That was a nice quick break. The other topic that I wanted to talk about was mental abuse. That's something that's going around kind of heavily. Mental abuse is a big one.
Right.
And it kind of goes across the board on a lot of different levels. But one of the things that kind of gets me with it is the abusive relationships that tend to bring it. I guess it works alongside with the mental abuse and the emotional abuse when you're in these abusive relationships. And I've talked about this particular girlfriend plenty of times before. And I just had a phone call from her a couple days ago about the abusive relationship. But the thing about it is it's not a physical abuse that she's going through. It's the words that he's putting out there. It's the things that he's saying to her that are very hurtful to her.
And those scars are deeper. They cut the bruises, that we have or that we had. They go away, but the words and the things that my abuser said to me sometimes still replay in my head
Wow.
today. So that the emotional and the mental abuse, to me, it's not, I'm not going to say it's worse because it's all bad, but it's just as bad as the physical abuse, because sometimes it's harder. It's definitely takes longer for you to get rid of that. Because like I said, it's 24 years later and I still sometimes hear him saying some of the things that he said to me 24 years ago.
Wow.
You know, so, you know, that's another topic as far as where therapy is concerned. Because at one point I said, I'm not going to therapy. I'm not crazy. Therapy is for crazy people. And I realize now that I am crazy. No, I'm just joking. I realized that I'm not crazy. I just needed the help, you know, and this, like I always say, is my healing when I go out and I speak around the country and do the things that I do pertaining to domestic violence and sexual assault. But therapy teaches you the different, like I have, what do you call it? I have times when I have flashbacks sort of the abuse that happened to me, and they teach you how to deal with, you know, how to deal with those issues and things like that. It's things that we can't do on our own that the therapist can help us to you know, to get through. So that's why I would suggest definitely if you go, you know, if you've been through it, to go to get therapy.
And that's the thing with her. And you know, backing up just a little bit, I remember my aunt used to always say, I'd rather go through physical abuse. I'm sorry, the physical abuse than the mental abuse. And we were like, no, who wants to be hit? You know, physical abuse. And as you get older, you start realizing, okay, like you said,
you
those
understand
scars
why
can disappear,
right?
But those words will stay in your mind. The mental abuse, and with her, the girlfriend that I'm talking about, with her, it's actually one of those things where when she went through all of her abuse, she never got any help.
Well, that's just like me. I mean, I'm just now starting to get. This year was the first time I actually went to therapy, and you know my story from the age of 5, you know, and I'm just getting therapy now. But I suggest the sooner the better. You know, I'm doing big things now, but I could have been helping to save lives sooner, and I could have been healed sooner if I had, you know, taken those steps before.
But it's like you say too, and sometimes in our culture, that's a no-no.
Like
you
what?
don't need to sit and go. You just need to pray on it. And never will I knock praying on anything.
Oh, definitely not.
That's definitely the way to go. But there's also, I don't believe that there's anything wrong with sitting down and talking to someone that is able to help you sort through whatever it is you need to sort through. And with her, by her not having any type of counseling or going through the counseling program, once she got in her next relationship, her marriage
carried it over.
She carried it over, and he kind of feels a little abuse, I guess, which would kind of tag into the mental abuse a little bit because of just the way that she does things. But she comes off a little hard.
I'm familiar.
But, you know, what I would ask him is to understand why it is that she comes off like that. She's been through a whole lot.
So he knows her story.
Yes, he does. We have a caller, so hello, caller. You're on the line.
Good morning. I'm calling in regards to your segment this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine.
That's good.
I was listening, and you all were talking about different levels of abuse.
Yes.
And like the abuse that goes on in the with the elderly.
Right.
Yes.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
I noticed that I'm in the field of home care, and I've had a couple of elderly clients that I was taking care of, and I noticed that when the clients get close to the stage where they like developing Alzheimer's, A lot of times when they go different places and different things and people are doing things to them, that's what they try to blame it on. You know, that they're getting Alzheimer's and they don't know what they're talking about, but they know exactly what they're talking about.
Right.
But they try to make it like they don't know what they're talking about because they are in the stage of, developing Alzheimer's.
Right. Right.
I've also seen, where a lot of times they're in the nursing homes and, your families take you there thinking that you're going to be taken good care of, and those people are not taking good care of you. Sometimes they don't even do things or even wash the clients up or anything until they know the families are coming.
Wow.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
And I appreciate. I'm glad you called because as you heard earlier, if you heard me speaking, I'm battling with that myself, deciding to put whether I was going to put my father in a nursing home, and I have worked in that field as well. And what you're saying is true. I was one of those people that was the person that stayed and was always helping the clients all the time, and I have seen other people that were the way that you just mentioned that did things when the parents or the family members were coming. And that's what another reason I was battling with it. But, at this point, I'm at the point where I don't have a choice.
Yeah,
really.
my dad, and I feel you because my dad died in 2009. And prior to my dad dying, before I put him in a nursing home, my dad was staying with me.
Mm-hmm.
But because he was so sick and like some of the medications and stuff that they had him on kept him sleeping and stuff for so long, and kept him like delusional and stuff. One day they had to break the door down. The ambulance had to come and get the paramedics and the fire department and everything and break the door down and come in here and get him because I had been calling for like 3 or 4 hours before I was coming home from work, and he wasn't answering the phone, and I was terrified.
Right.
And then when I did put him in a nursing home, one day I missed, and the next day I went up there, and my father had hit his head on the table, and nobody ever called and told me that he hit his head on the table, that he had to get stitches or nothing.
Jesus. Well, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that happened to you. And
that's why I say it's very important for family to step in because
help.
we can't all, we can't be everywhere at every moment. So it's very important.
True, and it's so hard to try to work and take care of, your family, and especially when they get sick. But it's just so sad that, you cannot trust everybody with your family because a lot of them, they're in that field and they do not care.
They don't care.
All they are is there to get a paycheck. They do not care.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm so glad that you called because you call and help me out a lot, and I truly appreciate you calling. Was there any? Well, let me say this also. My father, the place I've been researching for just since yesterday because I'm still debating, but my uncle, my father's mother's brother, is in a nursing home, and he's able-bodied. He talks. He's and I had planned on looking into that one where he has somebody there that's familiar that will be watching him. I think that is definitely a good route to go. Yeah.
Because not just like you just said, you can't be everywhere at every minute and every given second of the day, and you don't want to be worried all the time either.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so.
And again, that's why I say it's very important for family to come together, close family, friends, family, to just come together and just, stop up there, just stop up.
To visit,
just do like a quick drive-by, so to speak, just to check and see what's going on. Just do a quick drive-by. They don't need to know that you come every Sunday or every Sunday at 2 o'clock, or they don't need to know that. You just drive by, come in, drop in, see
the
what's
element
going on.
of surprise, because when I worked in that field, we, it was only a few of the family members that just randomly would pop up. They would never say when they're coming, and I was happy that they did that, because that's the best way to do it. Because if they don't know when you're coming, a lot of them, and I'm not even going to say what I want to say, but certain people, they I'm not going to say the race or whatever. They just don't care. Like you said, it's about a paycheck, and they could care less, and they don't attend to the clients the way that we do. I'm sorry.
You gotta know it.
Yeah.
But,
so.
Good luck, to
Thank you so
and,
much.
Your dad, and I'll keep you in my prayers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Okay.
Talk to
Have
you
a nice
later.
day.
You all have a wonderful day, and
You
y'all
too.
have a great talk show going.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the support.
Appreciate you.
All righty, no problem. You all have a wonderful day.
You
Okay,
too.
you
Take
too.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of
That's
them do
heavy.
not care what's going on, and it is because I remember the one of the nurses when I was going to see my mom. One of the nurses, she's like, "Oh, so will you be back next weekend?" I said, "Oh, I'm not sure. I may just stay for the rest of the week. I'm not sure.
why are
You
you
really do
asking?
not need to calculate
Right.
when I'm coming.
coming back. So that
I will be there.
Yeah.
Trust that I'll be there."
Right.
And I was there very often.
Yeah, and see, you know how I am. I do not play. No, let me tell you, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice because, see, I'm leaving my dad here. So I'm going to be real nice. They're not going to see Riri.
In the beginning.
Yeah. They're not going to see Riri. I pray they never have to see Riri. Hopefully everything will go smoothly. Like I said, my uncle will be there, and he's able-bodied. He's the life of the party in the nursing home. So he'll keep an eye on my dad, and I'll have some sort of comfort. But I will be there every single solitary day.
At different times.
At different times. Yeah.
So-
And that's how you have to do it.
Yeah, you really do.
Unfortunately, that's how you
really
have to do it.
And one of the instances that happened, and needless to say, but one of the instances that happened with my mom was they had to run a test with the urine, and all of that, and they had the wrong.
Person's urine?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, needless to say, as tactful as I tried to be,
Wow.
because one of the things we have to remember too is once we leave them, they're still there. So we have to have a level of tact and be as courteous as we possibly can.
Right.
So it worked out to the point where they, did everything they needed to do. But trust me, after the transition, Lily had to step out. So you have to monitor these things. Know the test that they're giving your family members. Look them up. Go look up the different tests, the different medicines, the different what's not going to act with what they're going through.
If it's going to interfere.
Right. Just
and all
make
that.
sure that all of that is in alignment with what it is that they're supposed to be having to take care of them.
Right.
Because little slip ups like that can cause a major problem.
Definitely. How do you do that? Well, that's not. I mean, we're human.
We are human, and we do make mistakes.
But at the end of the day, those type of mistakes are not supposed to be made at a facility like that. They're supposed to. It's procedures that they're supposed to follow, and that person hopefully was fired. Yeah, good, because
Actually,
they
were.
needed to be, because that's ridiculous to me.
They were fired, but it's definitely a responsibility of us. You have to have one person that's somewhat able to handle some of these most difficult times.
Right.
And my father, he was good. Like, he'll go up there. He was up there every single day around the clock. He was there. And we had I have a cousin that's just like me. So she was up there. So whenever I wasn't there, she was there. So it was just like, But
that's
then we had
good.
other family members there too. But I also know that he couldn't handle as much of the things that I was able to handle.
Right.
So you have to have that person that has a quick, that
no
can handle
nonsense.
it. Yeah, they can go in there.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important to come together and work together as a team when you have this situation, because this is not, it's not easy.
It's somebody else's life. I mean, and it's your family's life, and you know, you just have to, you have to come together. If no other time than now, the family has to come together and put all of their issues aside, and you know, deal with that focus on that one particular person and doing what's best for them.
Yeah.
You know, so
Because it's no longer about us.
Right.
It's about that family member who's in that situation that needs us to step up and be of assistance.
and make the right decisions
make
for
the right
them.
decisions.
Yeah, it is really it's hard and heavy, but I know, like I said, we've been through a lot, and
It's rough.
I know we'll get through it.
We
but-
will. It'll be okay. You know, as best as it's going to be, it will
Mhm.
be okay. And
Yeah,
you know, we
so-
just got to keep it going.
I know. I just wanted to say something. I know we're on elderly abuse and mental abuse and everything, but I wanted to just speak on a young lady that I'm very close to, my sister, in this fight that I'm fighting against domestic violence.
Right.
Queen Affy is a dear sister to me. I wanted to give her a shout out,
Yes.
who lost her daughter to exactly what we're fighting against,
Senseless.
domestic violence. Was killed by her baby's father last Saturday, shot in the head. And I wanted to give a shout out to Queen Affy. We will,
Yes,
they will be having a candlelight vigil for her, and I don't even have the information right now, but I'll put it. We can put it on the website.
We say no.
When we
number
say
2,
no, yeah.
abuse.
It'll be coming up Monday, her candlelight vigil, and then her funeral will be next Saturday. But as hard as we fight against domestic violence, is right here at our door. Her daughter, as I said, was shot and killed last Saturday, and she was only 19 years old. They had a 2-month-old baby together, and now he's in prison and she's dead. So, you know, all of this abuse
And the
it needs
baby
to
has
stop. The baby has
no
now
parents.
as Queen, my sister said, now I'm a baby mama. You know, and it's so unfortunate and it's sad. And she's one of the strongest women I have ever met in my life, because I don't think I would be sane right now. And she's
No.
here working and going hard. Now she has us. She's telling us. She's encouraging us as advocates. We're supposed to be there, like, you know, holding her. And she's like, no, we're going to do this together. I have y'all. I need y'all more than ever now. And we just going to have to fight harder. Now her daughter is like, you know, we were always going hard, but now it's like it's even more purpose behind it, because we lost her daughter. She lost her daughter in this fight, you know. So I want, you know, if everyone that hears and sees us could keep Queen Affy in your prayers and her family. And if you all can come out to the candlelight vigil, and they need donations, water, juice, whatever you can bring, candles, that would be great, you know, and come out to the funeral if you can. All that information will be on the website.
Which is We Say No, the number 2, abuse, and that's on Facebook. That's our Facebook page. We Say No, the number 2, abuse.
Yeah, so if you all could do that, and you know, this abuse, all of the abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault, mental abuse, elderly abuse, all of it has to end. And I mean, like I always say, until my last breath, I'm going to keep fighting. You know, we just going to keep doing what we have to do until, you know, our last breath. And hopefully we can, you know, like before I went to the White House, I went to the House of Delegates to try to get bills passed. You know, stuff like that is wonderful. We need everybody to just stand up and try to do anything that they can to help stop it.
Yeah. And just to touch on that briefly, first of all, y'all know how I am about, yeah, that's just disgusting to me. First of all, don't love me that much that you feel that you need to take my life for something so senseless. But we have to just try to get rid of this whole thing of this physical abuse. And this is why I created this show, was to start having that open dialogue, to talk about whatever is going on in your life that may lead you down that path that is a path that you do not need to go into
Right.
or be involved in is domestic violence or
Right.
any type of abuse. That's why the show is called The Different Levels of Abuse,
Mm-hmm.
because we touch on all different levels. And whatever it is that you're going through, have that open dialogue with someone. If you need to just talk to whoever,
Your
that-
neighbor, somebody, you
talk to
just
someone
get it out.
just to get it out,
Right.
get it off of you, so that you're not holding it in. Because when you start holding things in, and then that plus idle time makes for a problem.
Right.
It makes for a big issue. So, let's try to do whatever we
Say
can
no
to
to abuse.
prevent
Right.
this abuse. And call us, talk to us, send us messages. The number is 240-620-7785. You can always text us.
Right.
Always send us a message on Facebook. Whatever it is that you need to do, if you want to just reach out, we have numbers for you to reach out
Right.
to and talk to someone. There's always someone who will listen.
Yeah, and there, if we can't help you with whatever the issue is, we know many people that can. We can lead you in the right direction,
Right, exactly.
so you can get the help that you need.
Exactly.
Because people that are abusers have in some way at some point in their life, I honestly believe, been abused themselves, and that's why they abuse others.
Around, yeah.
So, like they say, hurt people, and that's what that comes from. I believe my abuser, I don't know what happened to him. I think he was molested, and I honestly believe that he had issues with his sexuality, because sometimes it just seemed that way to me. You know what I'm saying? Like but I don't know for a fact, but it was definitely something there, to the point where this man hated women so much that he beat the living mess out of every one of them that he dealt with.
Wow.
And in some way left them with something. Like, everybody that knows me knows that I have epilepsy due to him hitting me in my head, and then he's knocked teeth out, and he's just, why are you that angry? What woman did whatever, who did something to you to make you that angry? And that's what we need to get to the bottom of.
Yeah, we
is
do.
the abuser, finding out what it's all about with them, because other than that, they're just going to move on to the next person, and do the
abuse.
same thing to them.
Yeah,
Like he's
and
done.
That's unfortunate. So let's come together. Like I always say, let's come together and try to work on that open dialogue and continue talking about it, and stop pushing it under the rug as we were brought up to do.
Right.
Pushing things under the rug. Let's start opening up and talking about it and having these conversations. And they're very healthy conversations. When we're on this show, we make it very light. It's not anything that's where you're so balled up and tense and stressed.
Right,
We make
right.
it very light. We want you to release that and feel very comfortable when you call in, so that we can do that.
Yeah, because
have
it's
that conversation.
It's a healing. It's a healing for all of us, for not only you all, but for us too.
Exactly.
But it makes us feel better if we can make you feel comfortable enough to talk about what has happened to you, because we know how we felt when we were relieved of all of that.
Right.
So it's a healing process for everyone.
It really is. So, I just, again, another great show. I do want to say a couple things just to end in a very, very positive note.
Yes.
So next week, we will be handing out back to school book bags.
Yes.
So I'm very, very pleased with that. And I just have to give some shout outs for the people who have, and people who are still reaching out to do donations. One of the retail places is Target. Target has definitely been a very, 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 very good sponsor for us with that. My father-in-law, my brother-in-law, some friends at work, PG County cops, a couple people that have really stepped in, and I really, 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 really appreciate it. And it's going to help some of the families that really need that little bit of assistance. So I'm glad that we could do that. And again, that will be next Saturday that we will be doing that. And I will post more information about it on We Say No, the number 2 abuse, and that's on our Facebook page. Also, another company that I wanted to shout out was Dara's. They are the best kept secret in Fort Washington. They have the best steak and cheese.
Oh wow!
Oh, my
And you know
God.
we
The
Philly,
best.
we from Philly.
Steak
you know
and
we
cheese.
we from Philly, so
Oh my God, they're like the best. They are very, very good. So I just had to shout them out because they are taking care of me as well.
Wow.
And lastly, I am so proud to announce that the Different Levels of Abuse.org is now a nonprofit organization. So I'm so blessed with that, and we're just working on some things with that that's going to fall underneath the Different Levels of Abuse. More things to come, and you'll see, and it's just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I'm so excited.
look at God.
He worked. I wasn't supposed to do this, y'all. This is not what I was supposed to do. So I'm very, very excited about all of it.
Yes.
So again, wanted to end that on a happy note.
Yes. Hallelujah. I just want to say that just made my day. I mean, a lot of things we talk all the time, but I needed to hear all of that. She was
Yes.
holding some of that in to surprise me because I've been stressing.
She has.
You know, for the last couple weeks,
really
but
has.
that just really made me smile. And
So
you know,
we
I
are
have people
good.
that are willing to donate on the book bags as well.
We are
And
good.
it's just I'm just so happy that I met
We
the
are
sister
good.
right here. It was meant for us
Yes.
to meet.
Yes, it was.
We met through someone else who we love dearly.
Yes,
Hey, Kanita. And, you know, but I'm so happy that we are sisters and that we are working together now
Yep.
because we help each other.
Oh, yeah.
We have each other's back.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
you know,
And we both have books coming out. So
Oh,
look
yeah.
for that.
Definitely.
Very, very soon.
Very soon.
Mine is slated to come out September 24th. Kita.
yeah.
And Renee's is coming out soon.
Yeah,
soon
mine will
after.
be
I'ma
out soon.
I'm gonna keep on her. 'cause
yeah, my life story.
Yes.
It's going to
So,
be something. So
very, very good books
look
that are
out.
coming out. So we're very excited about the positive direction that the show has kind of
Yes.
taken a
it is
very,
going
very
in.
positive turn. So we're very, very
Definitely.
happy. So in closing, we love you guys. Take
Yes,
care of
we
your
love you.
elderly family members.
Please.
Work together. Put all
Right.
that other stuff behind and let's bring it all together.
Yeah. Come on, family. Help me out.
All right? We love you. Bye-bye.
Love you all. Take care.
I am complete. My whole life has changed. I am complete. Yeah. No more heartache or pain. I am complete. Yes, I said it. My whole life has changed. I am complete.